Hey everyone, in this video we're just going to look at some of the graphing features of Excel. These will help you with your assignments. So the first thing is I've got some information in my spreadsheet here. Now you're going to notice that I have different pieces of information. That's because I'm going to show you different types of graphs. So the first one I'm going to show you is if you're going to create a scatter graph, so with your bivariate data, so say you're looking at correlations, you would use your you would have your data set up like this. So 2 rows as if you were doing a table of values. So I'm going to first of all select the values that I want in my graph, because if I just said insert graph, Excel will try and pick numbers from everything. So I've selected what I would like to put in my graph. I'm going to hit insert, and I'm going to pick from a couple of features here, and I'm going to pick this one here. It says insert scatter X and Y, so that looks like what we've got to do. And then I just want the points. You can see straight away it's brought up in a scatter plot here. Just going to zoom in a bit. So what we can see is our data, and you'll see that it's been highlighted, and that is corresponding. So the x-axis is going to be the top one, and your y-axis is the bottom row. So there we go. Just to make sure, first one, where are we? We have a 51, which is just here, and it's 55 about halfway in between. So you can adjust your scales and so forth in Excel, but I just want to make sure that you are following procedure and convention. So our chart title would be what we are displaying. So this is the results of English and modern history. Cool. And then we also need to label our axes. So this is where you would, if you've got chart tools here, design, and it's add a chart element. We have axis titles, horizontal, and that is going to be our English result. And we're going to add another chart element, which is the vertical axis. And that one is going to be history result. You could also put what units it might be in. And that is, and the last thing you need to do is insert a trend line. So add chart element, and it says trend line. Just go linear, and boom, there it is, already done. Look how quick that was. Righto. I'll move that over a bit here. Next graph we're going to look at is our histogram. So I've got my data already assigned into a histogram. Again, I'm going to select my data that I want to graph, insert, and be careful, this is a column graph, and this one here is what I want, the insert statistic chart. I want a histogram, so I'm going to select that. It's come up a bit funky, but we can edit that in Excel. So I'm just going to zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to click on my axis here, double click on it, and it brings up this menu here, format axis. Now my bins, so that means like how I've categorized or clustered, created my classes. I'm going to go by category, and it's going to take my purple column here and produce my graph. Just do a quick check that my frequency counts are all good. Yep. And again, you're going to make sure that it follows convention. So your title would be histogram of whatever, and in below you're going to put your axis title. So horizontal axis is going to be, let's say like number of books read, I don't know. And the title, again, vertical. And remember with histograms it's always frequency on this side. So yeah, cool, frequency. And that is everything we need to do for a histogram. And the next one, so if I have univariate data and I am looking at categorical data, so like the number of responses of people selecting McDonald's as their favorite restaurant, I use a column graph. So I've selected my data, insert, sorry, I'm going to remove that bit there. Insert, use column graph, has a whole lot of things that you can use. I'm just going to go the standard one here. Move that over, and you can see straight away it's already done it for you. It's got, if you set up these cells correctly and insert, you can have no dramas with it all. So we've got our, again, putting some labels on there, and making sure you've got a title. So please get back to inserting labels and titles. I'm just going to pause for a sec so my video doesn't go over. Okay, so you can see I've just put in those axis labels in my title, and the last one we're going to do is a box and whisker plot. So surprise, surprise, you can actually do one of these on Excel. You need to do the mathematics though before producing your box and whisker plot. So essentially what you can do is put in your 5-number summary. I'm going to select my data. You'll notice that I did not select Q1, my 5-number titles. And I'm going to go to insert, go to the same one that was histogram, but this time I'm going to use the drop down menu, and you can see box and whisker here. Click on box and whisker and it brings up something a bit funky. So I'm just going to move that over, and so you can see. So I'm just, move that out of the way. So here's my box and whisker. You'll see that you have a the axis, and we can still label that. So add chart element and title. Oh, sorry, yeah, titles, primary vertical, and you can have still say whatever it was, age of choir members. There you go, and this would be the it helps to spell it right. Cool. So there's my box and whisker plot. You can adjust it to look like your other your box and whisker plot, and they're all different styles here. Okay, I'm just going to go with the standard one, and actually that's my standard one that I want. I can remove that, and I'm just going to make that look a little smaller. Cool, and then you can see that it's just here. Oh, I would have to put my frequency back in. Should have done that earlier. Okay, so that is how you graph things on Excel. Now, if you, for some reason, your data changes or you made an error and you want to go back, you do not need to completely make another graph. This is the beauty of Excel, is that you can change your value. So let's change this to 40. We should see a change in a value. What about, actually, let's go to 90. So let's make it really obvious. There you go. So, and then you'll notice that your trend line automatically adjusts for that as well. So that can be done. Control Z. There you go. It's the same with your frequency. So say you recounted and you had 13, it would automatically adjust. I'm sorry, I'm pointing at the screen. It will automatically adjust here. Say 5, make it a really noticeable thing. It's automatically adjusted for us there. So that is the beauty of Excel, and this is why I like it so much. And it's the same over here. You could also, so I'll move this one over. I've just just so I can get this guy on the same screen as our data. All right, and then you've got, say here we have KFC, and I'm just going to insert shift cell down. We might have another takeaway chain, sushi train, and 5 people like that. Ta-da! Look at that. So you didn't have to make a new graph, you just insert it in. This is why using technology is so much quicker than having to do these manually by hand. So please utilize Excel. This is one of its many features that it can do. It is important for your PSMTs, and it's also important for in helping that you can use technology efficiently and effectively to help you reach a conclusion or solve a solution. All right, guys. Hopefully that gives you enough basics to make some graphs in PSM for your PSMT. Awesome. Bye.